Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the iBug Buzz. Today is Monday, March 11th, 2024, and this is Buzz Call number 624. My name is Brad Snyder, and along with the Ladybug elf, Sandhya Rao, we are your co-facilitators for tonight's extravaganza. The iBug Buzz is an open forum where we talk about all things iOS. That includes hardware such as the iPhone, the iPad, the Apple Watch, and even the Apple TV. Fair game are such things as peripherals like speakers, keyboards, and other type things that connect to these devices. We'll also talk about apps and pretty much anything else in the iOS world. The one thing we do not talk about here is the Mac. And of course, we don't do Windows. So, with that introduction out of the way, let's hand it off to Sandhya, who's going to tell us about all the great things that are going on in the iBug Today world this week. Sandhya, take it away.
All right, thank you, Brad. Yes, we got a busy week, and everything is on Zoom, and all times are central. Let's go. For the next 2 hours, like Brad said, we have the buzz call, and at the midpoint, we'll have our big reveal for the movie. So definitely stick around for that, and try your hand at trivia and guessing the movie, and the chance for winning one of our amazing prizes. Then, at the end of this call, after the call, we are going to turn off the recording and give you guys a chance to hang out without the interruption of facilitators. So they will be muted and y'all can get to know each other. It's called the After Buzz. So we hope that you will participate in that as well. Forbidden topics are technology, politics, religion, and anything else deemed inappropriate. Next, Tuesday, we have the mini buzz, similar to what we're doing right now, but a shorter version, hence the name mini buzz. That will be from 5 to 6. Then Thursday, Vila Book Club from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. The book that we're reading is called We All Want Impossible Things by Catherine Newman, DB 11/12/46. It's about 7 hours. Great book. Definitely check it out and come and share your thoughts with us. Friday, iBug Night at the Virtual Movies, 8 p.m. Social time 7:15. Talking about we'll have our name that tune and trivia and name that tune and jokes and stuff. And it's actually a special anniversary. It'll be 4 years of iBug Night at the Virtual Movies. So come and celebrate with us. Might have a little bit of a different program. We'll see what happens. All right, then Saturday. Saturday? Yes, Saturday. iBug Apple Workshop from 2 to 4. There, we're going to be talking about the latest Apple news and then some cool demos from some very cool people. So come for that. And in case you're wondering why it is this Saturday, it's only the third Saturday. We had to move it because of Easter, and iBug is invited to present at the Haven Insight Expo here in Houston on the 23rd, so we can't do it on our normal day. All right, so those are the upcoming events. We are also having a tech shopping spree. Tech shopping spree. iBug is a nonprofit, and this is one of our main fundraising opportunities. Silent mode. So for $10, you have an opportunity to win 500 clams, or you can improve your chances with 6 tickets for $50. All the instructions are on our website, and the drawing will be on our 13th anniversary call on May 25th, 2024. You don't need to be present to win. All right, social media. Our website is ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. Check out all the information there, and I will hand it back to Brad.
Okay, wow. You sound out of breath. There's so much going on. Very exciting. The fourth anniversary of the Friday night movie. Looking forward to that. All right, let's get this show on the road. That's what we're here for. So let's get things started by going around the room and giving everybody a chance to say hello. You know how it works. Say your name, tell us where you're joining us from, and also if this is your first time on this call or you're new to iBUG in general, please self identify and let us know. So let me get things started. My name is Brad, and I'm in Dallas, Texas.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Liz, Fort Worth.
Welcome. Welcome.
Gary and Austin.
Welcome.
John
Amina
and
from
Austin.
Maryland.
Wow. Welcome, all of you.
Ed from Georgetown.
Welcome, Ed.
Mary Ellen Earls, Phoenix, or Scottsdale, Arizona.
Hello, Mary Ellen.
Don't know if you heard me because I don't know if I was unmuted. Londa Peterson,
Welcome,
Harrisburg,
Londa.
Pennsylvania. Yep.
Mike Fair, Mississauga, Ontario.
Welcome, Mike.
Brian,
Pete.
North Bay, Ontario.
Brian, welcome.
Pete, Florida.
Pete, Florida. Is that Florida, Pete? Yeah.
Sarah
Very
in
good.
Vermont.
Welcome.
Hey.
Jody in New Hampshire.
Welcome, Jody.
Greg in Texas.
Greg, undisclosed location in Texas. Very good.
Cheryl in Ohio.
Ding dong.
Welcome.
Pat, Ohio.
Hello, Pat, and somebody else there. Welcome.
Marie in Reno.
Hello, Marie. Welcome.
Paul in Ohio.
Hello, Paul.
Dan, Southern California.
Welcome,
Vincent in New Jersey.
everyone. Welcome.
Thank you.
Did you hear Bridget?
Vanessa.
Welcome, Bridget and Vanessa. Welcome.
Yes, right.
Elizabeth
from Newfoundland.
Welcome.
Deb
Paula,
from
New
Kansas.
Jersey, first time.
Welcome. I'm sorry, who is our first timer? Say it again.
Paula Weber, New Jersey.
Welcome. We're glad you're here. How'd you hear about us?
Sarah.
Okay. Welcome. Very good.
Desi in Tennessee.
Hello, Desi.
Hey, Brad.
This is Dee.
Hello, Dee.
Hey there.
Who else we got? That it? I don't want to miss anybody.
And Dee's from Southern Illinois.
Southern, yes, we know. Where all them earthquakes happen.
All right, this is Sandhya
Southern Illinois.
from Houston, and just a reminder for all our new callers, we don't use the hand raise feature here. We also don't talk without saying our name and being recognized by the facilitator. That keeps everything nice and smooth. So let's get started, Brad.
Sandhya is all about law and order. Chunk, chunk. Anyhow. All right. We usually like to give our newcomers or new iPhone, iOS, iPad users opportunity to get their questions out there up front, get us rolling. So who'd like to go first?
This is
question
Londa.
is the one that is not asked. Go ahead, Londa.
All right. This is not a beginner question. So if you want me to wait, it's fine.
That's okay.
I have a group text that our worship team uses. And we changed somebody's number and we added somebody recently. Well, the person we added, every time we add her, every time I recreate the group, instead of taking her mobile number, it takes her home number. I have checked my to field to make sure it was showing her mobile number. I have selected her mobile number. It looks all right till I send the first message. She didn't get it, and it's showing her home phone number. I removed her home phone number from her contact. Now I can text her individually, which I couldn't do before because they were going to her home phone number. But still, when I do the group text, I've deleted it. I've done everything I know to do. I am completely stumped. The only thing I haven't done is remove her entire contact and recreate it. But I've removed her home phone number, and that group text, every time I delete it and recreate it, still puts her home phone number in there. And of course, she can't get a text on her home phone number.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Have you tried creating a separate computer? Stop. Have you tried creating a separate contact with just her mobile number and then adding that to the group text?
I've not tried that. That may be my next try. That might be something worth trying.
No,
but the contact I have for her now does not have her home phone number in it because I removed it.
It's Mike Fair.
Go ahead, Mike.
Just the thought of removing her from the group and then re-adding her with the contact with just her home number would be what I would
with
try
just
there.
Her mobile number. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm going to remove her contact and re-add it with just her mobile number and see if that will work. It's not an iMessage group either. It's a mixed. We have that other platform in there as well. So unfortunately, I can't just add and remove people. It seems I have to recreate the thing.
Yeah.
Pat.
Go ahead, Pat, and let's.
I have found out that a lot of times it picks up the home number if the home number is the first number in the contacts. So I always put the mobile number or iPhone number first, and that way it goes. But I have noticed lately after one of the updates that if I'm adding or sending a text, half the time now I have to tap on the number in the contacts. It doesn't automatically populate it, which is weird.
Yeah, I've had to tap on the number, and I do that, and the to field shows the correct number until I actually send it, and then it goes to the home phone number. But you're on to something because her home phone number was first because I added her mobile number later. She didn't have a cell phone for the longest time. So you're on to something there.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
This is Dee.
Dee, go ahead, please.
Okay, this is not a question. Can I tell you about a new game?
You have what? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, can I tell you about a new game?
Real quick, yes.
Okay. Sandhya taught me how to do New York Times connections. Well, I just discovered there is a New York Times connection in the App Store, and I am totally addicted. I can't accomplish anything else.
Is it a word game or what?
It's a word game.
All right. Very good. That's an app. That's fair game. Now we can all go download the New York Times connection and jam up the app.
I didn't even want to get off of the game to come here to this meeting.
Oh,
I mean, I am addicted.
Very good. Well, thank you. That's good to know. We'll all have to take a look at that.
This is
all right.
Sandhya.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sandhya.
Sandhya.
Yeah, just a question for Dee. I think that the app is different from the actual, if you go to the website, because I think there's one that everybody does every day. So I don't know if the app one is the same as the one that's on the website. Just a caveat.
This is Dee.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Dee.
Okay. It plays just like that. But I mean, when you finish a game, you can automatically go do another game over and over. And it starts out a lot easier than the ones on the website. But it's still addictive.
All right. Good tip. Thank you, Dee. Okay. Who
is Greg?
Real question for us. Not that we didn't like Dee's app tip. That was good. But
I think Greg has a comment.
Yeah.
Greg.
When that first came out, it was not completely. Is it now?
No. Sandhya?
This is
Sandhya.
D.
It's yeah. Go ahead, D. You tell him.
He was
It's
asking about the
accessible.
website, so
It's
the website
accessible
is
using
okay.
VoiceOver.
Okay.
Yeah, and this
All
is
right.
Sandhya. The website is a little bit questionable sometimes when you're selecting the words. It's not always clear that it has been selected. So there is a demo in the future, so be looking out. We'll be doing one soon.
Ooh, little preview there. Peek behind the curtain. All right, excellent. All right, let's move on to something completely new, or as they say, and now for something completely. Oh, that's something else. Never mind. Who's got a question for us?
Hello, Chigadonaka, brand new question.
Oh, hello, Chico. Go ahead.
Are you talking? Sorry.
Hello?
Go ahead.
The brand new iOS just came out not too long ago.
Last week, 17.4.
Yeah. What is brand new, and how do I mask my settings, or are there any new settings that need to or any new settings that came, or anything that's brand new that I need to sync my
Okay, let me
settings
see.
to?
Who can briefly tell us what was in this new update? Any bug fixes? Any new features? I think it was mostly bug fixes, but let's let somebody who can tell us what was in this iOS 17.4 update real quick. But I go ahead.
There's two places that I go to find out what's
Who
in
is
the
this? Who is this?
I'm sorry, Liz.
Liz, go ahead.
Okay, there's two places that I go to find out what's going on with the software updates. One, of course, is AppleVis, and the other is if you go to your, I want to say Control Center, where you do the update from, and go to is that
Settings,
not Control?
general, check
General.
for updates, may tell you.
Yeah, there's a link there that will connect you to everything that's in the update.
Very good. Thank you, Liz. So go check out those two sources, AppleVis and your check for updates before you do the update. It's gone after you do the update, but it will tell you what's new in there. All righty. Thank you. Who's got another question for us?
This is Jody.
Go, Jody.
Thank you. I just want to let everybody know, Bard 2.2.2 has an update that includes a whole bunch of new features. One is multiple languages, one is features for low vision. But the one that I really like is that there's Siri shortcuts that you can turn on in the settings in the app. And you can basically tell SIRI, start playing, stop playing. And there's also navigational features that you can add. And so it's all hands-free.
Very good. Thank you, Jody.
I'm Cheryl. Yes, and I have a lot. I have a lot of questions.
Well, let's start with one and see what we can do with that one. Pick your best.
All right. I just downloaded the Lazarilla app, Lazarilo, today. And I took a walk just now. That's why I'm letting it on. I was with my neighbors. And we noticed that periodically in the neighborhood, it would tell me you are at 230 this or 220 that, in the street name.
Mm-hmm.
And what I don't understand is it before I get to the driveway or after I get to the driveway? I don't know how to, and I don't even know how to even tell it to go do whatever I need. I don't really know how to use the app.
And tell me the name of the app again.
Excuse me?
Jody. Go ahead, Jody.
Yeah, it's the Lazarillo app. I stopped using the Lazarillo app because I found it to be very inaccurate. For example, I would be standing at an intersection and it would say intersection 65 feet ahead. And so I found that I just found it unreliable. The one app I would really recommend is called Soundscape Community. There's 3 Soundscape apps now. One is called Soundscape Community, the other is called Soundscape, and the other is called Voice Vista. And
What's
any of
what
them will
now?
do the same. Okay, it's called Soundscape Community.
And what's the other one? Then Plain Soundscapes, and what's the third one?
Soundscape and Voice Vista. They're all the app was originally developed by Microsoft, and Microsoft dropped it, and it's been picked up by 3 different developers, and they're all working on it differently. But what I find about the Soundscape Community is that I will be standing in the intersection, and it will identify it, bingo, right where I am. And the same thing with identifying crosswalks. You can get the address that you're located at, but you can also set markers for points of interest along your route. Like, for example, I've got one at my front door and one at my mailbox. And so it's a very versatile app. You can set up beacons so that as you're headed towards your target, it will give you a louder tone than when you're faced away from it. It's a very versatile app and really dependable, and I highly recommend that. Lazarillo, I just don't recommend that.
Huh. Okay. Well, I guess everybody's different. I will give that. So I just go to the App Store and download Soundscape Community.
Yes, and it's free.
Okay, that's the main thing.
Yes, they all are.
Yeah.
Mike, fair comment?
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Just in general, these location apps, I happen to like Blind Square. It handles what I need for the most part. The thing to keep in mind though is the accuracy will vary depending on circumstance. GPS is of course based on satellite information, and that cloud cover can affect that. Location, what's around you can affect that. Tall buildings and such. So the accuracy will vary, and a lot of these apps will have. If you look all around, make sure you explore the home screens of these apps very carefully. They usually have a lot of information on them, and one of those bits of information is the location accuracy at the current time. So you could check and see, okay, I'm dealing with what it thinks is about a 5 meter inaccuracy. So 5 meters is about 15 feet for Americans. And that is enough to put you, on one side of a street or the other. You might hear about landmarks a bit before you reach them. It won't be precisely when you're at them. So there's things like that to keep in mind, like just based on the inaccuracy of how you're located.
This is Jody.
Okay, go ahead, Jody, and then let's move on.
Yeah, well, civilian GPS is not accurate by design. I think it can be up to 30 feet off. But the thing that I like about the Soundscape is it seems to correct for that error. And the other thing too is the Blind Square is a fairly expensive app, and the Soundscape is free.
Okay, very good. Let's go to a new topic, new question. That's very good, Pete. I think that's it. All right, thank you. Let's move on to something new, something different. Somebody hadn't had a chance to ask a question. See if we get some new blood in here.
Well, this is Cheryl again, and I have another question.
Okay, Cheryl.
Is it possible to do Microsoft Word and Excel on the iPhone?
Ooh, it's about Microsoft Word on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Or Excel, any of those, any of Microsoft Office.
Microsoft Office Suite on the iPhone.
Mike, fair comment?
Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, the apps are there. You can get the Microsoft Office app now on the iPhone, and you can use them. I've never had tremendous need for it, but you certainly can. Apple, of course, has its alternatives, Pages, Numbers, which are also free. I believe Office, as I understand it, it is subscription based. So I'm not sure if you have to pay in order to use Microsoft Word and Excel now. Back when I had them on my iPhone, they were separate apps that you could download, and you didn't have to pay for them at all.
Well, I have it on the computer, and of course, I have a subscription for that.
Well, then that should cover. You only need that one subscription, as far as I know, and that covers you on iOS as well. Then, so if you have a Microsoft account, and you'll need those credentials, and once you get the apps or the app, I think it might be just be one app now. You'll have to check that, and I'll have to check into that before I finish writing that section of my book. But you should then be able to tap into your OneDrive and make use of any of the Microsoft documents you have on there.
Okay. Is OneDrive a folder?
Now I had that for a while, and it did. Yeah, you integrate it with the Files app. You can do that, and then you can just copy to and from like that. That it's basically another cloud that is treated like a drive.
Oh. Okay. Do any of you all know about how to upload to YouTube? Say if you record on your phone and then do it to your computer, or vice versa, or even from YouTube. Say something like if you record this.
Anybody using YouTube real quick? And upload to YouTube ever from your iPhone?
This is Pete.
Pete, go ahead.
Yeah, we were doing YouTube in the cafe yesterday afternoon, and Cheryl, I believe you raised this question then.
Yes.
Sri did text me before the program tonight, and I think he'll come on and probably address that issue along with a couple of the other questions that we had that were unresolved. So hang in there for a little bit longer, and Sri will be in.
We will keep an eye out for Sri on the participants list. Thank you,
got
Cheryl. Let's move along to something new. Who's got a next question for us?
This is Desi.
Go ahead, Desi.
Okay, I went to a website today to purchase a piece of electronic sheet music, a PDF file, not for me to use because I think that would be probably pretty impossible with a PDF music file. But anyway, I paid for it and I got the link to download it, and I went to the page and I double tapped on what was a download button, I thought, and it seemed like it probably did download, although I didn't get any messages saying that. But when I went to my Files app, because I assumed that it would go somewhere in there, I could not find it. And I wrote to the company and explained that I was using my iPhone 14 Pro with voiceover, that I was totally blind, and that this is what I had tried to do. And the guy sent me back an attachment of the file, but I never got the question answered about what would have happened to the download. And when I double tapped that download button, it took me into this screen that showed the piece of music, and I explored that screen quite thoroughly, and I didn't see any other kind of button to do anything with it. So I just wondered if anybody has any thoughts about that.
Anybody know where
Mike
downloads
Fair.
go when you download something on your iPhone?
Yep, I can address that. Mike Fair here.
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I do a lot of downloading PDFs and other documents from sites like storybundle.com. They're usually either EPUB or PDF. Sometimes you get a download link and you double tap on it. It says, "Do you want to download this file?" And you just say download, and it works, and it goes into your downloads folder in your iCloud drive by default. So that's
right.
where.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but sometimes with these book files, any kind of document, PDF, things like that, it instead of downloading, it opens, and now you've got an open PDF. Now sometimes it will open in books in the Books app directly. That's for some people that's become the default. I usually what happens is I open a document like that and it pops open, and then up at the very top of that, then what you do if you have an open PDF file, feel down at the bottom, and there should be a share tab.
Yeah, there was a share. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's open in it sounds like what happens is open in Safari. Okay. So then what you do, you double tap on the share tab and you go through the share sheet to save to files or yeah, save to files. You double tap on that
Okay, gotcha.
and
Yeah.
then you save it and then it will download and be in your on your downloads folder in the cloud iCloud Drive folder, unless you specify otherwise. You can change like
Yeah.
if it has some of these things have stupid names or like numbers or something. You can
Yeah.
change that before you save it. So
Yep.
that's always an option. But if you just hit the save button, double tap on that, and then it will save.
Thank you so much. That makes so much sense. And I saw the share button, but it didn't occur to me that that had the saved files thing in it there. And I just thought, what happened to my file? It's
The other
gone.
thing to know about that is there's if you can't find sometimes you'll go download a file and it's something like that will happen. It'll open. If you can't uh like if you want to pick a certain file, for instance, voice stream reader or something else to open that kind of file in, go through that share sheet till you get to the more button. If the app is not in the default number of apps just out in the open, double tap on the more button and there'll be a further list of apps that might contain the one you want as well.
Thank you so much. Perfect.
All right. Thank you, Desi. Thank you, Mike. And as a reminder to everyone, please, that's all. When we want to have something to speak, an answer, comment, state your name, and do your best to wait to be.
This is Pete.
We all get excited. We got an answer. Go ahead, Pete.
A quick follow up with Cheryl on your question, Cheryl, about how to upload content to YouTube. Sri sent me a text and said he will be posting that process, that procedure on the iBUG Today Facebook app, or Facebook page. So pay attention to that. If you're not familiar with it, go on over and sign up for the iBUG Today Facebook page and look for Sri Roy, who will be posting the procedure on how to upload content, whether it's a song or some sort of a video to YouTube. You with me, Cheryl?
This is
Pete. Go
this
ahead,
is Marty.
Yes, sir.
In addition to the last question or the last, when you do the share, because I found that out, I was trying to download I was trying to copy an MP3 file on the voice stream that was in someone's Dropbox. And when I hit the share button and copied the voice stream, what I actually copied was an HTML pointing to where I can get the download from Dropbox. So then I realized that, and when I downloaded from Dropbox, it never said download completed. It just said your file is downloading. And I didn't even know where to find it. And then I went into the Files app and went into the download folder, and there it was. And my question on that is, I just downloaded a 2-hour recording. Is there any way to find out what that file size is?
Mike, fair comment.
Go ahead, Mike.
To do that, you would just look in the Files app, and it should, as you go over it, it might actually just announce it there. But if not, you can flick down.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
If you flick down, eventually you get to info, file info. You can double tap on that, and that should have pretty much any bit of information you'd want to know about that file in that dialog right there.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
All right. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Mike. Very good. Okay, who hasn't had a chance to ask a question?
Pat.
Go ahead, Pat.
I have not put anything in my calendar that was repeated or recurring in a while. Can somebody tell me the steps to do it? For instance, the second Tuesday of every month.
Okay. Who can give us a brief overview of how to do a recurring event? Something like the second Tuesday or something like that. Who does reoccurring events in their calendar?
This is Deb.
Go ahead.
The way that I have done it is I would set the first one, and then down the list a little bit, there's a thing of repeat, and its default is never, but you can change that to every 2 weeks or whatever there, I believe.
All right.
Mike Fair, comment?
You go ahead, Mike.
Just a follow up to that. If you try to create, it's good for if a thing is either the second week of second Tuesday of the month or things like that, second or fourth weeks. But sometimes if for example, I have trouble with if I have the second and fourth Tuesday of a month, which might be a different, might fall in different weeks. What I would do is create the first event and say it happens on the second Tuesday of the month, and a second event saying it happens on the fourth Tuesday of the month. And that's in general the way I've handled things where it's not necessarily always going to be, weekly kind of thing. And that way it lessens the chance that of error, because you have each time slot filled in precisely for one thing.
Pat,
go ahead, Pat.
I have noticed before one of the updates months ago, you could do like the first and fourth Tuesday or something, but you don't have that option anymore. I don't know why they took that away, but so if I'm doing something monthly, the second Tuesday, I would click on monthly and then custom it, or what?
I think you start out with custom, and you'll find them under there. Anybody?
Yeah, Mike Fair comment. Yeah,
Okay, go ahead,
custom.
Mike. Yeah,
custom, and then pick that. That basically gives you the widest range of times that are not, traditional, I guess.
I don't know if one of these updates fixed a bug, because every time I clicked on custom, it was doing daily, and that's the only option it was doing. And I'm hoping one of these updates fix that bug. But
I think if
anyway.
you tap on daily, it's going to open up and give you other options. It defaults to daily for some reason. So try that, and you should see some other options. And I did recently see first and third, second and fourth, but I have not seen that since this last update. And maybe I was dreaming.
Yeah, I
don't think that had been there before. I had to do like Mike, set up something for the first whatever Tuesday of a month, and then do another one for the third Tuesday of a month. So
that's what they had
wouldn't let
told
me
me
do
as
before.
well. Yeah.
Yep. So take a look at that and see what you can see, Pat.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Okay. Who's got another question? Somebody hadn't had a chance to ask. We still got time to go before the end of the first hour and the big reveal, but
this is Marty.
Upswing. Go ahead, Marty.
Not my 8, but my iPhone 15, when I turn voiceover off and give my wife my phone to help me with stuff, all of a sudden we hear this foreign language female voice. And I know that it's not voiceover because of the voice I use, and I toggled voiceover off. And I don't think it's affecting my wife like navigating the screen. It's just that you hear this foreign babble. And I'm just wondering if there's something I need to toggle off on accessibility or something.
Sounds like spoken content. Anybody familiar with spoken content?
This is Pete.
Go ahead, Pete.
Or speak screen. I don't know if that still
Speak
exists,
screen,
but
yeah.
that used to be a problem where it was there for sighted people to use, where they could read a screen quickly and easily. But it's a different control, and I think it's under accessibility.
Yeah, it is, but it's not under voiceover.
No, this is Marty. I know it's not under voiceover. I looked under spoken content and I couldn't tell. I think there's a couple things that are toggled on, but it didn't seem like it was anything that would affect that. But I didn't see speak screen, but I can look under spoken content again.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on. Very good. Someone else who hadn't had a chance to ask a question. Moving on. Somebody, new question altogether.
Linda,
Go ahead, Linda.
can you save a website to the share sheet?
Talk about sharing a web. How do we save a website? That's tell Linda what to do.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie. Thank you.
I mean, the easiest way to save a website would be to bookmark it. There are ways to, of course, save an actual URL, but the easiest way is just to go to, bookmark the site. That's what I do when I want to save a website.
And where do you go to that, Herbie?
You go to, I'm drawing a blank on where you go to that on Safari.
Share tab.
Share tab, yep. Yeah. It used to be you did it under bookmarks, but yeah, now you do it under share tab. And another option in the share tab you will see, I do believe there is save to home screen if you want to save the link to your home screen. But under the share tab is the option to add it to bookmarks. And that's what I normally do when I want to save a website.
Very good. Next question.
Gary?
Go ahead.
Not me, but somebody else that I know called me last week and said, I just upgraded to iOS 17.4 and now I have a different voice in my status bar. Voiceover was fine otherwise. And, I had her do the usual things like turn off speech and turn it back on, turn off voiceover altogether, turn it back on, turn off and on the phone, and nothing fixed that. I think she was going to call accessibility, Apple accessibility. I don't know whether she did or not, but I just wonder if anybody else has experienced that in when upgrading to iOS 17.4. And it's only the status bar where the speech is, it's a different voice. And I did hear it for myself, and it was speaking really fast too. It was English, but different and speaking really fast.
Anybody experiencing any weird new voices since upgrading to 17.4? I know I am not. I got other issues with it, but no strange voices.
Gary.
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, I have not experienced this, but I've read about it on AppleVis in the recent email about or post about 17.4. And I think it has something to do with the language selection in the rotor, but I'm not sure. I took that out of my rotor recently, so I'm not having that problem. But that's what I think I remember reading about it in AppleVis.
Okay. Check your languages then. That would be.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
One thing you can also check, Terry Ann, is under the settings accessibility activities. See if there's an activity that is geared towards the status bar that's changing the voice talent and the speed.
Okay,
And if
say
there's
that
an
one
activity
again.
there, if you go to settings, accessibility, voiceover under activities, there is by default an activity gets created. I'm not sure if that's causing this problem, but I would see if there's an activity that's created, and if there is one, remove it and see if that addresses the issue, because that could change the speaking rate and voice talent based on a particular part of the screen.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Sri. And with that, we are at the top of the hour and at the halfway point of tonight's call. So let me hand it back over to Sandhya, who's going to guide us through our halftime activities. Sandhya, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Yes. So we'd like to say hello to anybody that didn't get to say hello the first time. Just say your name and where you're from. We'd like to go.
This is Terry from
Welcome.
Arlington Heights.
Okay. Welcome. Who else?
Shri from Virginia.
Shri.
Sharon from New York.
Hey, Sharon. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is Dad from Southern California.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Marianne from Elgin.
Hello. Welcome, Terrian.
Marianne.
Marianne. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Welcome to you. Glad to have you. All right. Keep going.
Karen and Philly.
Marty.
Oh, Karen, Marty. Welcome.
Yeah.
Shay from Seattle.
Hey, Shay.
Roy in Fort Worth, Texas.
Who's that in Fort Worth?
Roy.
Okay, welcome. Oh, Roy. Yes. I'm like, okay, go ahead. I know you. Who else?
Rosetta, Georgia.
Hey, Miss Rosetta.
Hey.
Who else? Anybody else?
Alice.
Hey,
Alice from Alabama.
Alice. Welcome,
Hey.
Miss Alice.
Thank you.
Nikki from San Francisco.
Hey,
Hi.
Nikki. Welcome.
Thank you.
Keep going. Anybody else want to say hello? Okay.
Cheryl, the one that's asked all the questions, but I'm so curious.
All right, that's great. But like I said, we will try to spread them out a little bit and give other people a turn, but we're glad you're here. All right,
thank you.
let's go. Anybody else? Okay, so now it's time for the big reveal. And with those clues is our very own iBUG guy. And let's see what we have in store today. iBUG guy, are you out there?
And they say you don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull a mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim.
Yes, yes, yes. We're back again for another fun time to figure out what the movie's going to be. So we are just, let me tell you some rules, I guess. We have, everybody can unmute themselves for this portion only. And as long as you don't have any background noise, say your name, wait to be acknowledged by me before you guess the title of the movie. And there is one guess per clue. So let's jump into
Oh, uh-oh. He'll be back. I think he lost.
All right. Here we go. All right. Where's my assistant? I need the clues. All right. Thank you, Mr. Assistant. All right. So, clue number.
This is Sandhya. Did you do the rules?
He did.
Did you tell him about the new rule?
The new rule. We have a new rule.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I forgot about it.
I thought so.
I forgot about it so much that I don't even remember what it is.
All right.
Someone remind me what the new rule is.
About past winners.
Oh, yes. We have a new rule so that others can play. If you've won in the last month, then we kindly ask you to wait and let others guess tonight. And then when your month is up, then you can come back in. All right. So that's very good. Thank you. All right. Here's our clue. Our film this week takes place in a big city on the West Coast and on the East Coast. A big city on the West Coast and also on the East Coast is the setting of our film. All right. I don't hear any takers.
Shri. Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run. Guess what, Shri? Yeah, you keep running after that cannonball. Thanks for playing. Next up.
So sad.
Clue number.
Miss Dot.
All right.
Some have said it is actually two movies masquerading as one, each of which may have been strong on its own. We're getting 2 for 1 this week. Ooh, we are going to stump them easy. It's so quiet out there. What's going on? All right, we will move on to our next clue number. What is our number? Shri.
Number 3.
All right. Clue number 3 is. Where is it? Okay, here we go. The movie is based upon. No, sorry. Wrong clue. Clue 3. The movie is a brilliant satirical drama that shines an inquisitive light on how art from marginalized people is viewed. All right, I missed to do that one.
Clear as mud.
It is a brilliant satirical drama that shines an inquisitive light on how art from marginalized people is viewed. Okay.
This is Shri.
Shri's back in it.
It's a street guess. It's Thomas Crown Affair.
Thomas Crown Affair would be incorrect. Good try, Shriek.
And just remember, everybody, y'all can get on unmute and guess, even if it's a wild guess. Go ahead.
Yes, we allow wags during this part of the program. Otherwise, when you're answering questions during the normal Q&A session, we do not allow wags. All right, we're going on. I think we're going to stump them. Oh no, this was going to may give it away. I know we have a lot of avid readers out there, so I'm guessing someone has probably read that our movie is based upon the novel Erasure by Percival Everett. The book Erasure.
American fiction?
Percival Everett. Whoops. Who was that?
American fiction?
Say your name.
Marianne, American fiction?
Mary Ann says American fiction. And Mary Ann would be correct in some places. And she is correct here too.
Yay!
Yes, yes, yes. Way to go, Mary Ann.
Oh.
Yay, good job.
And if you happen to be watching the Academy Awards, you know that American Fiction was nominated for 6 Academy Awards and won 2 or 1 one Academy Award last night. So we are watching another, including Best Picture nomination. So we are watching another Academy Award Best Picture nominee, American Fiction, rated R. It's about a 2-hour movie starring, who's it starring? Somebody, Jiminy Cricket. No, not Jiminy Cricket.
Jeffrey Wright.
Somebody kind of like that, but not. All right. Anyway, we'll come up with the names of the actors shortly. In the meantime, I would say,
Johnny, what do we have for winner tonight?
All right. Very good, Mary Ann. Congratulations. And you are probably wondering what is behind door number 1. And your answer would be a Mac computer. Yes, I said a Mac computer.
Woo, 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 woo.
And everybody knows that that is a topic that is forbidden on this call because there's another whole call for that. We like to keep things separate, but today the book is about an author, and we are presuming that they are using a Mac, and if they're not, they should be. So there you go, Marianne. You got yourself a new Mac, the latest and greatest. All right, very good. Mr. McCullough, would you like to say good night?
The author in the movie is played by Jeffrey Wright.
That's what Dot said.
So his character name is Monk in the movie. So
Felonious.
we look forward to seeing everyone this Friday at 7:15. Come and be a part of the festivities. Oh, by the way, this week we will be celebrating our 4-year anniversary of our, whatever this is called, Friday night at the virtual movies. Or
How
something like
quickly
that.
they forget.
Yeah, it's only been 4 years.
You know what he's talking
So
about.
That's kind of like the new rule.
we have some special things going on for that evening. So come join the pre-movie celebration. All right. Thank
You
you.
want to tell Marianne not
And
to hold
I
her breath.
will
Bargle,
be
bargle.
back again later.
Yeah, make sure all of our new members, new
Yeah,
participants
make sure our
know.
members know it's a virtual prize.
All right, don't burst the bubble. Here we go. Okay, Brad, we're going to get ready for our iBug Bite segment. What you got for us?
Getting ready to get ready, right?
Uh-oh.
Fixing to.
Fixing to get ready to get ready? Okay, let's go for it.
Like that. All right. Tonight we're going to address a question that has been asked a number of times on the Monday Night Buzz Call. Is how do I mute text message alerts that just keep coming at me and I want them to be quiet? So we're going to look at that. It's really pretty simple. Once you find it, you're going to go, oh my God, why didn't I know that? So let's see. I'm going to unlock my trusty iPhone.
2015.
And hopefully everyone can
Messages.
hear it. Can you hear that, Sandhya? Because guess what?
Sandhya Rao. 2001.
I'm going
Yeah,
Actions
we hear it,
available.
yes.
I'm going to share how to mute messages from Sandhya. No, actually, I just put her at the top of the list. So my magician's assistant. So here we go. We're going to use your rotor should be by default on actions. If it isn't, we'll hear in a second how to check. But I put my focus
Sandhya Rao. 2001.
on the text
Actions available.
message I would like to mute, and I am going to flick up. I'm going to flick up several times. Be careful and listen to what you're on so you don't accidentally do something you didn't mean to do, like delete it. So here we go. I'm going to go up once.
Drag item.
Drag it. Move it to another place.
Delete.
Nope. Don't want to delete it.
Hide alerts.
Hide alerts. Now, while I'm on hide alerts, I'm going to do a one finger double tap. And it didn't say nothing, but if I flick again,
Delete. Show alerts.
show alerts, that tells me what it will do when I double tap. So now if I double tap, I will get the alerts.
Delete. Hide alerts.
See, I'm toggles between hide alerts. Now when I sit here and tap on it, it doesn't say it. That's weird. It used to do that. I guess that's another iOS 17.4 bonus feature. It doesn't tell you.
Delete. Hide alerts.
Okay, so it
Mark is unread. Show alerts.
alert is hidden. So when I get a text message from Sandhya, I will not hear the alert. Now, of course, when this is done, I'm going to go change that back because I want to get alerts from Sandhya. But anyway, you might have a group. A lot of times we have group text messages. And, we've had people asking about that because someone gets started in a group and there's 4 or 5 people in the group and they're going back and forth and you just don't have time to respond to all those alerts and you don't even want to hear them. Well, now this is where you can go to silence those alerts. And that's the demo, short and sweet. But that question has come up a number of times. So do we have any questions on that? Speak now or wonder forever.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Brad on this topic?
This is Paul.
Go ahead, Paul.
So just to be clear, if you hide an alert for an individual, just the only other person in the group on the text, so anything from that person is going to be muted until you unmute it.
Correct.
If
You're just
that
not going to get the
person-
alert.
Yeah. Okay. If she's in it, let's say it's still Sandhya, but there's 3 people in the group.
You muted the whole group.
You muted by.
I would have
muting
gone
one,
to
you
the
mute all.
group. Say my group might have, my brothers, sisters, my cousins, the whole family group. And unless I've named it family group, it's going to list everybody's name, assuming that they're in my contacts. If they're not my contacts, it's going to say a phone number. But if
Right.
you mute that group, then you have muted the entire group, not just one person in the group. In this
But if
case,
you-
I just put a message from Sandhya up at the top of the list and used her as my demo person.
This is Sandhya.
Go ahead, Sandhya.
So if Apple is listening, that would be cool if you could just mute one annoying person, right?
That would be.
Yeah.
Would be.
Maybe in 17.5. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe you can write. I'm sure if you write Apple accessibility and say, or just apps support at Apple, they will get right on it, and it'll be in the next update.
Okay.
This is Shrey.
They're very
This is
responsive. Go ahead.
This is Mary Ann. I have a
Hide
question, please.
Yeah.
You said you access this by your rotor. I
Vertical
used to
scroll
be
bar,
able to
5 pages,
get the
0%.
rotor with the going clockwise with 3 fingers. I can't do that
Two
anymore.
fingers.
How else?
It's like 2 fingers,
Two
and
fingers.
it's like you're turning a dial. See, I'm going to do it right here.
Characters.
But it
Words.
doesn't happen
Speaking
to my
rate,
phone
60
anymore.
volume, 100%. Headings.
It should be there. That makes it go
Okay.
away or turns it off. I mean, a lot of
Okay.
people have trouble with the rotor, and there's lots of different ways that people suggest to work around. But I've always just told, when teaching it, telling people to put 2 fingers on the screen and twist your 2 fingers like you're turning a dial or
Right,
unscrewing
right,
a
which I've done.
bottle cap.
Yeah. Right.
That should do it.
Now
By
I also
default, it should be on actions is the one you want.
action.
Actions, yeah.
Well, I also find if I open my text messages and do I did I don't know what hand motion I used. I had to reply to a message with the letter C or the letter Y, and I did something where I got the drag, and then I finally got the keyboard to type the C and the Y, but I just did that by opening the message. So can you
Yes,
access
for that. That's something
that by opening the
completely
message?
different. That's something completely
Okay.
different from what we're talking
No,
about.
but I mean, could you do what you did by opening the message instead of using the rotor?
There is another way, but it's more than just opening the message. You have to open the
Okay.
message, then you have to go up to the top, tap on the person's name, and it opens up some options. And I think it's in there, but I'm demoing
Okay.
this way because it's the
It's
shortest
easier,
way to get
absolutely.
it done. Right.
Okay.
There's Dot.
No, let's go with Herbie, and then we'll go to Dot. Go ahead, Dot.
Oh, hi. Can you mute from the lock screen?
No, you have to open messages, go to the individual conversation with your actions rotor on with the rotor on actions,
On action,
flick up or down until you get to hide alerts.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
And then once
Thank
they're
you.
hidden, by the way, since you've made it green, you will not get the alert from that conversation on the lock screen either. The alerts are hidden. No sound, no lock screen alerts. However, your messages app, like for example, mine's in the dock. There is a little number in the upper corner of it. I think that's where it is. It'll say 2 unread. Well, you'll still get that. You just don't get the alerts.
Thank you. I got it.
Anybody else?
This is Marcia.
Okay, Marcia.
Last September, my daughter and son-in-law went to Italy, and I wish I had known about that then, because everybody was writing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth,
Exactly.
and drove me crazy. And so the other day they were coming up again, and I didn't know how to delete the whole thing.
Yeah, you
thread.
can delete a conversation, and at some point in the future, who knows when in the future, somebody somewhere who's a member of that group can send a message to that group, and that group is right back there on your phone. You really can't get rid of them. So this is a great way to deal with it, is hide the alert so you're not bothered by it.
And that particular message.
That particular conversation. There could be one person or a dozen people.
There was a
Still
dozen.
a conversation.
Okay. So I can hide them, but I can't get rid of that whole thread.
If everyone in the group is iMessage user, you could leave the conversation. If one person is not an iMessage user, then you are stuck with it. You can't leave it. You can delete it, but as soon as somebody in the group sends a message, you've got it again. That's why hiding these alerts is your best remedy to that situation.
Thank you very much.
All right. I think we're ready to wrap it up.
I think we've run that one, run its course.
Beat that dead horse. Okay. Thank you, Brad. Very useful. Okay.
All
Back
right.
to our
Now I will
regularly
go
scheduled
unmute you.
This is Marie.
program. Go ahead, Marie.
Yeah, the other way, you can just go to the thread in the message thing and swipe up or down and find hide alerts.
Yes.
You don't even have to go to the rotor.
Okay.
Even
All right.
better.
That's what I did. I didn't go to the rotor. The rotor is on actions by default.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
It's Mary Ellen.
Yeah, go ahead, Mary Ellen.
It's Mary Ellen.
Go ahead.
Has anybody else come across in your mailboxes where you have drafts that no matter what you do, they won't go away? I've had this since I had my iPhone 10, and I'm not terribly concerned about getting rid of them because they're not bothering anybody. I just was wondering if anybody else has had this kind of conundrum.
This is Pete.
Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead, Pete.
Yes, Mary Ellen, I have that problem. They sit down at the bottom of the screen most of the time, but sometimes they're up there in the top of the screen, and they're separate from your actual drafts folder. They're drafts that just don't go away. You're right.
Okay, I just I'm not concerned about getting rid of them.
Well,
It's just so weird. Yeah, I have too.
This is Sri.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you open up the drafts, double tap on the drafts in the bottom right corner, and then you can swipe left or right till you hear the close for each of those draft messages, and then they'll go away.
No, they don't. I've tried that.
This is Brad.
I'm sorry. It's Mary Ellen. I'm sorry.
Yes, I know. Try putting your finger on it, double tap, and it should open a draft. Then look in the upper left corner. There's a cancel button. And then it'll ask you save draft or delete draft. And you say delete draft. Boom, it's gone.
No.
Try that.
It's not. No, I didn't. I've done that.
This is Ed.
Go ahead, Ed.
Sometimes if you swipe to the left and go to where it says cancel, and then it'll say delete draft, you can do it that way. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you hit the down arrow if you're on a keyboard, and it'll say delete or up. Like it's got to be there somewhere, but you have to open the draft in order to delete it.
Sorry to tell you, but that doesn't work.
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Go ahead, Jerry.
What I have found is if I hit that bottom of the screen drafts thing, it doesn't work. But if you open the folder drafts, you can open the draft and then when you hit cancel, as Brad or somebody said, Brad, I think, said it will go away. But the one at the bottom of the screen, for some reason, doesn't. It's the folder itself that you have to go into.
I'll try it, but I mean, I really am not concerned about getting rid of them. It's Mary Ellen again.
Hi, what's the matter?
But it's just so strange. And I'm not the only person that's had this.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck. Okay, thank you, Mary Ellen. All right, next. Anybody who hasn't
Dot.
had a chance, go Dot.
Hi, is it okay if I ask Sri and Peter, what app did you use to generate your voice for your demos? It sounded great. I know you did something with your voice, and it wasn't you.
All right. Does it have to do with the iPhone?
Mine does.
Yeah.
Pete.
Okay, go Pete.
I recorded my voiceover only, not my voice. I added that over on the Mac, which I can't talk about, but I
Okay.
recorded my voiceover track using screen recording in iOS, which is one of the control center items. If you go into settings, control center, and add the screen recording feature into your control center, then you can work it from your control center, and then it will record everything on your screen. Now, you could use your voice as well as the voiceover sounds too. So you might want to try that.
So screen recording?
Screen recording.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you, Dot.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Okay, go Sri.
I did the same thing that Pete did.
Okay, very good. All right, next question. Somebody who hasn't had a turn, we'd love to hear from you. Would like to go.
This is Thomas in Colorado.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And I just have a comment on an app that I discovered a while back.
Go ahead.
It's called Speech Central. And it basically will read things. You don't necessarily have to have voiceover on to use it. In fact, I turn the speech off in the voiceover because it has its own voice, but it'll read news articles, fashion, sports, and it's free. And there's an option to donate for $9.99. I donated, but it's very user friendly, and it's got a lot of categories, and you can read web pages with it. It's very useful and very handy. So it's called Speech Central. I'm done speaking.
All right. So hang on, Hermes. The purpose is to what? Be able to read different things? Is that what you said?
Yeah, basically, like for example, you set up your things that you want to, like for example, they have popular categories. So you go through those and there's news. So I clicked on news and I have like 9 different news, Fox News, ABC News. Once you double tap on the news source, then it'll start reading the headlines, and you can read by swiping up and down. There's a listen now if you want to read a particular article, and it'll read the whole article to you. And then you can go back to your news feeds after you've read an article and do the next article. It's a very, like I say, very useful if people like to read news articles. And there's a lot of news articles that I've never heard on the news that are on there. So very useful app. Speech Central.
Speech Central. I think I see a demo in your future, Thomas. All right. Okay.
Was that speak or speech?
Say your name,
speech.
Please.
This is Pete. Speech.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry.
Speech. All right. Next. Who would like to go? New question.
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Go ahead, Jerry.
How are you? First of
Good.
all. Second of all, I had a weird thing happen with my watch. I updated the phone and the watch to 17.4, and it got stuck on this Rocco voice. I could not delete it. I could not change it. And it sang the Death March. When I read a message, da, 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 da. I couldn't get rid of the damn thing. I had to actually repair my watch, delete the whole Megillah and start over again and start it as a new watch. I didn't want that to come back again,
Okay.
It was crazy. And I just wonder if anybody else had that issue with the update, or I don't know. I have a Watch 7, the 7 issue thing. So be careful if you haven't had it. Rocco's out there waiting.
Wow. Anybody else except for Jerry that has this weird stuff going on?
I know.
That's just you, Jerry. Okay.
All right.
Not
Okay.
surprised. Not surprised at
Neither
all.
am I.
All right. Thanks, Jerry, for the song, more importantly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's next? New question.
It's Kathy.
Go, Kathy.
In a comment, just when I was going to start using my Apple Watch. Now I hear this. But my question is, I know it's stupid, but
nope, there's
so
nothing stupid. Go ahead, say it, spit it
well,
out.
it's just that it's so basic, but I just been having problems with.
Will you spit it out?
When you do an email, and you say you're gonna put it to 2, and so you start typing the name, and then you get a list of email addresses, and you hit click on one, and it goes there. Sometimes when I tab or when I go around the screen and try and find where the message is to start making a little thing, say to start writing the message, a lot of times my message comes up in the as a
part of the to field.
as part of the to field, and so then I have to figure out how to delete that, which is stupid. But I guess my problem is that I can't seem to control where the cursor is, if there is one, on the email screen.
And that is not a silly question at all. I mean, we've all encountered that. Who would like to help Kathy with that issue when addressing an email?
I kind of have a part 2 to it.
Okay, let's do part 1 first. Hold on. Let's do part 1. Anybody with part 1 to answer to Kathy? How to get, out of the to field to the right place? It happens. It's so frustrating because you've written your whole message and then it's in the wrong place, right? So,
yeah.
Mike, fair comment?
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. What it sounds like what might be happening is when you finish with the to field, you have to make sure you're definitely in the other edit field that you want, whether that's the subject or whether that's the message. So you flick right until you get onto the subject or message, and then double tap to go into that particular edit field.
Okay, I may not be double tapping, but I go where it says the beginning of the message. Yeah, I don't know if I double tap.
You have to double tap to move it from that to field where it was in to the other field, the message field. And that way, when you type, it'll be in the message field and not in the to field.
All right. And then the part 2 question is what, Kathy?
So sometimes I screw up a message. I mean, the addresses, and maybe I have one that is bogus, either because I have a typo or because it wasn't a real address. And my question is, does it send the others? Like sometimes I just don't want to fix it, and it says can't send one of these your address is incorrect or whatever it says. And then it'll say send anyway. And so I hit send anyway, hoping that, say I'm sending it to 2 people and then a third address is wrong. I'm hoping it'll go to the 2 people. Does it? Does it when it says it's no?
Okay. Does anybody have an answer for Kathy? Will it still go even if one of the message addresses is wrong?
Pete.
Go, Pete.
Yeah, it will go, Kathy, unless it comes back after you've sent it again, and it comes back and says, gives you an alert bell and tells you what else is wrong. But if it goes with that, silently, then I think you're safe in assuming it went to the good addresses.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Kathy. Good job. Okay. New question.
This is Ed.
Go ahead.
Just a comment on that. If you're questioning whether the message was sent or not, just go to the sent file, open it, and if it's sent, it should be there.
Very good. Okay. Check and balance. Thank you, Ed. Okay, next. Who else? Let's go. Who else?
This is Shree.
Go ahead.
I was going to talk about the cafe. There was a couple of questions that came up. The first question was, when you go browse on YouTube, we get the buttons on the top of the screen. The question was, can that be deleted? The answer is no. It's just something that is there when you browse not a website, but when you browse on any YouTube pages. The second question was the on the audio track, the one finger double tap and hold. That is a bug. I've got a ticket with YouTube. And uploading the videos, you can download an app called YouTube Studio app. That will make it a lot easier to upload. Or you can go to the Create. But I'll go ahead and post the directions. As Pete said, I'll put it in our Facebook page.
Okay, thank you. All right, next.
This is Pete.
Go ahead.
The one other item that I know Sri and I have talked about it, and it might have been resolved for some people, but people were asking about the bell. You know, a lot of YouTubers will say, you know, if you like the video, hit the like and subscribe and hit the bell at the bottom or something. Go down there to the bottom. It's a visual thing, but it is the notifications button. And if you're subscribed to a particular channel, then you can hit that notification button, which is the bell, and it will allow you to either create notifications and set the parameters on those or turn off notifications if you're already being notified.
Great. Okay, thank you. And we had an awesome cafe yesterday about the YouTube app, and that will be posted very shortly. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Next, new person. Who's got a new question? Let's go.
Jerry from Vermont again.
Go ahead again.
I missed that cafe yesterday, and I wish I hadn't. I'll be looking forward to hearing the posting.
Okay.
But I had a YouTube question. I have this app called, I don't know whether it's Favorite YouTube or it's something like that, so that I can go up on YouTube with it, and I can subscribe to YouTube stuff, and it will stay in that app, so I can always. It's like a big app that bookmarks these things. So all I have to do is tap on it, and I get the YouTube entry and all the stuff that's been done on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I think it's called. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
look.
come back and tell us. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like a good listing. Okay. Kind of compiles everything that you saved. Okay. All right. In addition to the watch list, I guess. All right. Who else? Who else? I hear laughing. Needs to go on mute. Okay, next. No laughing. Who would like to go? We're a very friendly call, in case you forgot. Okay. Who else? Who else? New questions?
This is Sri.
Okay.
What generates the follow-up? Like, what starts the follow-up? Is it something that we initiate?
Anybody
Brad.
want to answer that? Go, Brad.
From what it said when it came out, for some reason, if you have sent an email or receive, I find it when I've sent one and it thinks I didn't get a reply to it, and I need to follow up on something that was in the email that it thinks requires an action of some kind. And it will bring them back. And they tend to come back even if you've deleted them. I mean, they may be still in your trash. That could be it too. I tend to find that mine are ones I sent and they're in the sent items folder, but they'll come into my inbox, and the same thing on the phone. And once I went into both devices and turned follow up off, it went away.
Okay, we got a live mic. I think it's Mary Ellen. Please go on mute.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. Okay. And to supplement what Brad was saying, I also get it when I send a message and it thinks that I haven't gotten a response from that person. So it's like, hey, you want to go bug them again? And so it happens that way as well.
Exactly.
All right. New question.
This Dot.
Go, Dot.
Hi. Is anybody here successfully read an article or something with voiceover, a multi-language article, that is, in which the voiceover will automatically switch languages without you doing manually switch from one language to another.
All right. Anybody's done that?
Anybody have done that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or Spanish, English, for example?
You may have to do that for us, Dot, and tell us how it works.
This is Brad.
Go, Brad.
It is in your voiceover under speech, and it is something called auto detect languages.
Yes.
And you can turn it off. And another way to cure this is to go
No, I want it
into.
on.
You want it on.
Yeah.
Well, then look for
good.
auto detect and make sure it's turned on. Also,
okay.
make sure that under your languages, like in your language rotor, for
Yes.
example, if you put, say, for example,
I'm
U.S.
Vietnamese.
English,
Yes.
and it is in your languages, and maybe even if it's the same Samantha, let's use Samantha for example. Samantha's your default, but Samantha U.S. English is your in your languages rotor, and you are on Samantha U.S. English. It will not auto detect, even if auto detect is turned on. But you have to go to just your regular language. But if you don't have any languages in your language rotor, then you don't have that problem. But you want to make sure auto detect is on.
Yeah, I speak Vietnamese. This is that. I speak Vietnamese, and I read a lot of Vietnamese newspaper. So sometimes right now I have to manually switch it from with rotor with rotor languages. So when it's come to a Vietnamese part, I had to do that with a rotor, and then we come back to English part, I had to do that with the English rotor back to English. So kind of cumbersome a little bit right now. So
This is Marcia. I don't know whether it would.
Hang on. Okay, hold on. Dot, will you finish?
yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Remember, wait.
Thank
Okay,
you.
go ahead, Marcia.
I don't know whether this applies, but I just learned from a friend who's in Paris. He uses an app called Deepl, Deepl, and it does that translation for you.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that would work with with what you need, but the app is free.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. Next. And Apple. Go, Marie. Go ahead.
This is a little out of order. I'm sorry I had to step away. I just wanted to quickly thank Tree and Pete for that excellent cafe on YouTube yesterday. YouTube had me pretty stymied, and right now I'm thinking about going and getting a premium account. It was an excellent. If you didn't watch the call, please go and watch it on YouTube when it gets put up. It's a great presentation.
Thank you,
right.
Dwight.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Thank you, Marie. All right. And like we said, that'll be up soon, hopefully the next day or so. All right. Next. Who has a new question? Somebody new? Hasn't had a turn. Who'd like to go?
This is Marty.
Go ahead, sir.
Just wondering, are there any Bluetooth headsets that have multi-point? Well, I know a lot of them have multi-point. You can have two devices connected simultaneously. Are there any of them that allow three devices to be connected simultaneously? I thought Shocks was one of them, but I'm not.
Brad?
Go ahead.
Well, Bose will. They'll allow up to 8, but I believe you have to hit a switch to change from one to another.
Well, a lot
Like
of
the
this
Bose
is Marty. A
QC35.
lot of them. Okay, a lot of them allow 8 pairings in their memory. But I'm talking about where, say you have two devices connected and you leave them connected and you try to connect a third. Because right now, a lot of them, if you do that, the third won't connect unless you disconnect one of them.
This is Brad.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It seems to be a limitation of the device as to how many devices the headphones will allow to connect. So I would think with the one that you're talking about only allows 2. There are others, and one of the ones I'm pointing out is Bose allows up to 8 devices to connect to it. And then there's a switch from one to another.
What? This is Marty. When you say a switch, you mean in the app or on
the side of the headphones.
headset? And that is the QC35.
Well, they're all actually. I've had several Bose, and they all do it.
Okay, this is Marty. Which ones do you have? I just have the Bose earbuds 2.
I have the QC35, and I have ones that are called OE SoundLink, I think is what they're called.
Okay, they're all over the ear.
And I've also got a sound wear, something like it's a thing you wear around your neck like a horseshoe.
All right. Okay. Very good question. Thank you very much. Okay, next. Have time for maybe 1 or 2 more quick questions. Who else do we have? Anybody would like to go? All right. Go ahead, Lisa.
This is Sri.
Go ahead.
I found another good tidbit for YouTube. If you want to search for something very specific and you don't want other videos to show up, as long as the YouTube contenter added this, if you use the hashtag and you search for it, it would only show up those videos from that content creator, nothing else.
Okay, cool. Very good.
This is Dot.
Go ahead, Dot.
What is the Braille symbol for hashtag again? I don't use hashtag, so I don't know the Braille dots for
It's
hashtag.
This is Sandhya. It's a number sign, shift number 3. So it's a 4.3456.
Not 3456.
No.
Before the search, okay.
Well, I don't use hashtags, but that's the number sign.
Oh, okay.
This is Sri.
Okay, go ahead, Sri.
I just want to make it very clear. It's only going to work if the YouTube content creator added the hashtag.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Final question time. All right. Okay. No? Right. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. And just remember, we have our after buzz after this recording is stopped. So just hold on for that. I want to thank our co-facilitator, my co-facilitator, Brad. Thank you very much, Brad. And we're glad for all the questions and everybody that participated. That's what makes it fun, and that's how we learn. So thank you very much. Then repeat review of this week's events. We have the mini buzz tomorrow from 5 to 6, the Vila Book Club from 6:30 to 8 on Thursday. We All Want Impossible Things, GB 11-12-46. Movie is American Fiction, another brand new movie. And that was nominated for like several Oscars and won at least one. And so we can check that out on Friday. And then it's also our 4th anniversary of the virtual movie night. So come for that. Then we have the iBUG Apple workshop from 2 to 4. We're going to have some Apple news and trivia. Not trivia, what am I saying? News, and then demonstrations and all kinds of good stuff. And with that, we would like to thank everybody, and then be looking for the iBUG Cafe recording very shortly. And now we will turn off the recording, and then we can have our after buzz.